It is Monday. Uh, Mondays are not always good days for people, but stay positive. And let's get into today's tarot. First is the Whimsical Arcane Challenge, of course. The word for today is fulfill, and I drew the Four of Spheres from the Epic Tarot. So again, I will remind you, check the blog post in the description box. You can actually see the pictures of the cards much larger and up close and more focused in, because my camera seems to not like to focus in on the cards that well. If you look at this card, you notice there's four male figures that look like they're trying to move these spheres. But the spheres have roots and stuff covering them. So what this card is about, it's a warning not to neglect your potential and your resources. Because if you neglect them, they will stagnate, grow some roots around them, and you won't be able to do anything. You'll be stuck. So work with your potential, work with your resources to get to your potential, and that way your purpose will be fulfilled, you will feel fulfilled, and you won't feel stuck. Okay? The May Elements Challenge, we're still in the fire element. This is day 2 of the fire element, and today is about ambition. So I drew the Nine of Cups from the Mystic Dreamers Tarot. I do have an observation about this card though. So this card is a happy card. The Nine of Cups is supposed to be like wish fulfillment, like you have the things you've worked for. I don't see that in this picture though. To me, this woman looks unhappy. The way she has one leg drawn up to her body, like to me that's like a defensive, almost getting into a fetal position type thing. To me, she looks more depressed than happy, but she's supposed to be happy because this is the Nine of Cups. And this deck does follow a traditional Rider-Waite, so the book that came with the deck says it's Abby Gard. So I don't see it in the artwork though. Maybe you do. But going along with that description of the card or that meaning behind the card, I would say this is where my ambition is taking me. My ambition is to feel fulfilled in my daily life, to help other people. That's why I started my tarot business, and just to be stable and secure financially. So this card tells me that my ambition will get me there if I keep it up and don't give up. Next is the Major Challenge. Today is surrounding the devil, and the question is, what is your greatest vice? So when you think of vices, most people think of things like smoking and drugs and drinking and gambling and things like that. I actually don't do any of that. I don't do any of it. So I don't have any of, I guess, what would be called the big vices. My biggest vices are probably like laziness, which really is in the form of procrastination, and sugar. I do love me some sugar. I love ice cream, cookies, brownies, cake, cheesecake. Pretty much anything with sugar in it, I like. I am working on this though. Ever since I read Tess Whitehurst's book, Magical Housekeeping, that inspired me to take a much closer look at what I'm putting in my body. And then I bought another book after that called Crazy Sexy Diet by Chris Carr. I'm still reading that one. And these books are inspiring me to make changes. So I'm reducing the amount of sugar in my diet. I'm reducing the amount of dairy in my diet. Reducing the amount of meat in my diet as well. I'm not necessarily going like full vegan, just trying to go healthier. So I'm working on that sugar thing. And then for the laziness and procrastination, I've worked on this as well too. Sometimes it really is just laziness. I just don't feel like doing anything. A lot of times though it's procrastination. So, but that leads to me never getting the thing done. You know, like I'll be in the middle of something and I'll have an idea and I'll go, okay, I need to do that, but then I keep doing the other thing and then move on to something else, and it just gets put off and put off and put off and never actually gets done. So what I am doing to work on that is I have sort of a loose schedule for my day every day, and I have to-do lists, and that helps me stay more on track and make sure the things I need to get done are getting done. So if you have an issue with that, I suggest to-do lists. Alright, my daily draw. I decided to draw from my Fairy Forest Oracle today. I've told you guys I'm working on kind of more connecting with that deck again. And I drew a card that at first kind of threw me. So it's Ragnarok is what it's called. The keywords at the bottom are destruction, ending, and final moment. Kind of negative terms. But when I read the description of the card in the Fairy Forest Oracle book, it actually reminded me a lot of the Tower from Tarot. It's a little different. It's talking about like this cycle that you're currently in is coming to an end. And things are going to come down because of that, like the Tower. And it's going to be painful to end this cycle. But it needs to be done so you can move on to your new cycle and be sort of reborn and start over and all of that. So it's a good card. It does let you know that there's probably going to be some pain coming, but that the after will be good. So it reminded me a lot of the Tower. Alright. Last, we have my journal exercise for the day, and I draw that from my Gothic Tarot just because I need to keep a deck separate for that so I don't have any repeats. I drew the Five of Wands. This is a creepy looking little card. You have a figure in the middle that kind of makes me think of Death. He's not holding a scythe or anything, but like that black robe, no face kind of figure. And then all these kind of creepy skeleton creatures around him holding the other four wands. So, a little creepy. A little creepy. But that happens sometimes in a Gothic deck, so I'm okay with it. The main point, though, is what's the journal entry for the Five of Wands. And the journal entry is, how do you feel about competition? That's what a traditional Five of Wands cards is about in the Rider-Waite-Smith system. Do you fear it or welcome it? What are you fighting? What kind of competitor are you? I did find this an interesting question because I'm actually not really competitive against other people at all. I am competitive against myself. I always want to be the best. And it's not to beat others, it's to prove that I can. It's to prove that I'm valuable. It's to prove that I'm skilled. It's to prove that I know what I'm doing. And those reasons are not the healthiest reasons, I'm aware. I tend to have self-worth and self-confidence issues, though. And external things like being the top, being the best, being the highest give me that kind of temporary sense of I'm worth it, I did something good, and they make me feel better about myself. This is something in myself I'm working on, but that is how I look at competition. It's just competition with myself, not others. So, alright, I would love to hear your thoughts on any of these cards or how you handle competition, what's your biggest advice, that sort of thing. So feel free to leave me some comments below. Don't forget to go check out the blog post in the description box below, where you can see the cards larger and clearer. Alright, that is all for today. I hope you have an amazing week. I wish you love and light, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks.